Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Sunny Kearley. I serve as Vice President of Membership for the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber. We're so glad that you've turned in for another episode of our Biz Boost series. This is where we talk to awesome chamber members and friends in the community who are doing great things to help Oklahoma City. Today, we're here with a special guest. We have Cathy Nestlen, Communications and Marketing Director with the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. Welcome, Cathy.
Hello. Well, thanks so much for having me.
So, Cathy, we've got some great news from the food bank to talk about today. But first, I want to ask you, you've got a little bit of history with the chamber, don't you?
I do. I go back several decades. I was living out of state and had an opportunity to move back to Oklahoma City, and the Vice President of Communication position happened to be open. I did work at another chamber in Springfield, Missouri. That's where I was leaving. And so I interviewed and was fortunate enough to get the position, and I was there for about just a little over 3 years. I loved my chamber experience.
You didn't have to say it goes back several decades, but I wanted to make sure we talked about that because you are an important part of our history and did great work to help move our organization forward. Talking about your organization now, Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, I think a lot of us are familiar with your work, but we may not all understand the scale of what you do. Can you tell us about what parts of the state and how big RFBO really is?
You bet. I think you're exactly right, Sunny. We cover 53 of the 77 counties in Oklahoma. So we cover all of central and western Oklahoma. We go all the way up to the Kansas border, into the Panhandle, all the way down. Our most eastern service community is Durant, but we go all the way down to Lawton, Altus, Frederick, all of those communities. So we encompass about 48,000 square miles.
That is amazing. What a massive operation and what huge important work that you're doing, especially right now. You know, a lot of us know RFBO because we've come out there to volunteer and are getting to do that right now during the COVID situation. Can you talk to us a little bit about how the COVID epidemic has impacted your work and also what you've been doing to help?
We miss our volunteers. Let me just start off with that. In 2019, we had about 42,000 volunteers. And so for us to not have our volunteers, they give us such energy and motivation, and they do such great work. So we will look forward to when we can welcome them back safely into our facility. But yes, unfortunately, we are seeing about a 30% increase in need. A lot of those are new households, people who've not sought out food assistance. We are seeing an uptick since the additional unemployment benefits ended at the end of July, and we are unfortunately starting to see households dealing with eviction. So we are fortunate in that we have about 300 of our partner agencies that remain open and have since this pandemic started in March, and they continue to provide food assistance. I want to reassure people we have plenty of food. And that if anyone is watching and knows someone who has become food insecure, that there's food assistance available.
That's such an important message. Thank you for sharing that with us today. Do you have any specific examples or great stories of ways that y'all have answered the calls to help?
And although the economy is reopening, there are too many households who are finding hours that have been shortened or that there just are no jobs to go back to. So we're trying to help those people and make sure and reassure them that when it comes to food, we can make sure that they have enough food.
That is so important. Yes, thank you. I know the need is huge right now, but the need is big all the time. I think September is a special month where we recognize your work. Talk to us a little bit about what's happening this month.
You bet. September is Hunger Action Month, and it's actually a nationwide. It's observed. It's actually kicked off by Feeding America, and we're part of the Feeding America network of food banks across the country. And so it's just a month that gives us I'm sorry?
Very prestigious and very well known, very well vetted.
Yes, we are proud members to be part of the Feeding America network. So the September Hunger Action Month gives us an opportunity to elevate the conversation about hunger. We deal with hunger on a daily basis at the Regional Food Bank, but in September we're really trying to get to the general public and get them to understand that hunger is real. It exists in Oklahoma. We are a hungry state. We are the 5th hungriest state in the country. and the pandemic has just worsened that. But it's just to get people comfortable to understand that there is hunger and that they can take actions to help fight hunger. And so I would encourage your viewers to go to our feedingoklahoma.org. That's our Hunger Action Month webpage, and you can find all kinds of things that you can do to help and promote the issue of hunger in our state and find ways to fight it.
Is there anything specific that you're looking for individuals or for businesses to do during Hunger Awareness Month?
You bet. We have information on that feedingoklahoma.org about hosting food and fun drives. You can do that at your business. You can find ways to do it remotely. We give tips on that as well. September 10th is actually Hunger Action Day, and we encourage people to wear orange. As you can see my background, orange is the color. Yeah, orange is the color of hunger. So if people wear orange, and then if they want to explain to their family or their friends or their coworkers why they're wearing orange, we give some tips and information on that at feedingoklahoma.org. And I'm very excited to say that once again this year, the Skydance pedestrian bridge will be lit up in orange on September 10th.
That's amazing. So September 10th, we should all look for the bridge to be all orange and beautiful.
You bet.
Is there anything else specifically that you'd want us to know about RFBO's work in the community during this really unprecedented time?
1 in 6 Oklahomans struggles with food inconsistency and are considered food insecure. That includes 1 in 4 children. Feeding America projects that the impact of the pandemic will be that 1 in 5 Oklahomans will struggle with food security, and that it'll move to 1 in nearly 3 children. So the issue of hunger, any gains that we may have made recently were wiped out by the pandemic. So we really need the support of the public and businesses, and we are so fortunate to have such great partnerships with many of the corporate businesses that are chamber members. And I'm happy to announce that we do have our virtual event coming up October 1, and Bank First has agreed to be the underwriting sponsor. So we're very appreciative for that.
That's great. Thank you, Cathy. It sounds like it's more important than ever for us to support the food bank's work.
It is, and we, I think, have a really good reputation of being good stewards. So I will remind people that for every $1 donated, we help provide 4 meals. So we have a very low overhead of only 4%. So your donations will go a very long way toward helping provide food assistance.
That's an impressive impact for people's contributions.
We have continued, the pandemic has forced all of us, I think, to lean into innovation. And we continue to do that with our delivery systems. How we're serving people now is making sure that we're keeping our staff and our staff safe, as well as the people that we're serving. So there's a lot of drive-through distributions going on. But again, I want to just remind people that if they know someone who's in need of food assistance, that help is there.
Thank you so much. Cathy Nestlen with Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. September is Hunger Awareness Month. We will all be looking for people wearing orange and watching for the Orange Bridge. Thank you all for watching Biz Boost today. Stay tuned and look for other great stories about Oklahoma City Chamber members doing great things in our community.